which maybe is generally true.
Okay.
But here's the quote he says, and I don't think I have to explain it. If I do, let me know, but I kind of just want to see your reaction to it. So just give your thoughts.
Okay, I'm going to focus this time.
The devil is not the product of the particular Christian. It is more accurate to note that the figure of the devil, or Christ for that matter, inhabits the mind of the Christian and of all Christians, and that such habitation occurs as the consequence of transpersonal, social, and historical processes operating almost completely beyond the realm of individual control.
You're going to have to explain the latter part.
It got a bit wordy at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you understand it all the way to like the habitation occurs as a consequence of...
I mean, I understand the words, but I feel like either I'm missing the concept or the concept he's stating is very bizarre.
Yeah. So pretty much he's kind of talking about Jung's collective unconscious, that myths like what he says, the devil and Christ themselves, they don't come from one person making it up. It's kind of an accumulation of all of these different people's ideas. So when he says consequence of transpersonal, social, and historical processes, he's just pretty much talking about the stories that we tell ourselves over time.
Okay.
And that those operate almost completely beyond the realm of individual control. So he's just saying that these mythological figures come about not from one individual, but from the retelling and telling of stories over time in groups.
But he's saying that specifically about Christianity?
That's this example. It applies to all of them, I think, but yes, he is using Christianity here.
But I don't think that works.
No.
Okay.
I strongly disagree.
Okay. I was actually having a hard time right there because I was just confused.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No, I don't agree at all. I think that that's not where Christ and the devil come from, as we know.
Yeah.
They come from the Bible, which was divinely...
Well, I mean, they don't come from the Bible. They existed.
Sure.
They just did.
That's a better way
and
to
the
put it.
Bible informs us of this, but it wasn't through the Bible inherently that they came to be.
Yeah.
It was through the prophets, and this is like a logical train of thought, but like the reason like we know what the prophets said were true because they said wildly specific things.
Right.
That came to be exactly true.
Yeah.
So, and then like we have like actual captured history to prove that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to be like, no, it's like, well,
yeah. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff in the Old Testament that prophesies Jesus, like hundreds and hundreds of years before he was alive.
Too.
Right. And the thing is that even if you don't believe in Christianity, people do believe that Jesus existed.
Yeah.
So if these books are predicting him 500 years before and no one's denying that he existed.
Right. Well, I that's what always confused me is like, I feel like this whole like fight with like history and Christianity, that kind of clash there.
Yeah.
Is people will be like, oh, well, I'll believe in Christianity when this happens. I'll believe in Christianity when this happens. I'll believe in Christianity when this happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it, historians are at this point like, well, we have undeniable proof of Jesus.
Yeah.
That he was a guy, actually was a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have undeniable proof that Jesus was a guy, then you could argue that with the amount of evidence in the Bible that stacks with the like historical, like actual proof that the miracles and the other stories that happen in the Bible must hold some type of gravity in that situation. And I mean, even if you're like, okay, fine, Jesus was a real guy who committed or who performed real miracles, then I don't know what's stopping you from just believing.
Well, you can even think about it. Something that our pastor likes to bring up, and I think we've talked about here before, is that Jesus doesn't give you the option of just thinking he's like a good moral philosopher or something like that, because he says, I'm the Son of God. Yeah. And that's why I'm doing everything I'm doing.
Yep.
So even if you think of him just as that, like as a historically focused person, you can't just think of him as that, because he would have to be crazy if you don't believe that all of his claims are true.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's such a potent claim to make that you can't just dismiss it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he proves himself more than once or twice or a handful of times. Like, I mean, he proves everything that he says to be true and like beyond true.
Yeah.
So many times it's just, it really breaks down to like, it's hard just to be like, I don't really believe it. Like, if you actually did your research and understood it, it's hard to dismiss it.
It is.
Yeah. When you come down to it. I mean, like, and having faith and trusting in God and building a relationship with him is definitely different, and it's harder than just believing in Christ. But like, that's step one, is just being like, well, I think this Jesus guy is probably legit. Like, I can't come to a conclusion that he's not. And there you go. Boom. Your first step.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah.
That's his, Hey, I got another quote for you. Listener likes, comments, and subscribes down below. And if you understood any of my word salad, go ahead and click the link below for a full video and a 5-course meal. Thanks for watching.